Starting 5-2 down, Chris Sutton. So the Liverpool supporters who are up in the top tier to our right, we actually have to duck under a girder just to see them in that area. They surely must be here rather in hope than expectation.
I think so, but you know, in sport, you know, it turns up funny results at times, and I think the first goal is everything this evening. Look, I mean, you can view the game at Anfield. Liverpool scored the first two and ended up getting walloped 5-2 in the end, but I think tonight absolutely crucial. So it will be really interesting the way Liverpool approach this. They've gone attacking, you know, with Jota maybe a fourth forward. I think he'll have to maybe just stay in behind Gakpo, but first goal, and it's very much game on and tie on. If they concede the first goal, then it's going to be a long evening for Liverpool.
That's Chris Sutton with us here in Madrid. Premier League winner, Champions League player, Champions League goal scorer. We are watching the match begin. Liverpool kick-off, all in red, Real Madrid all in white, and they are clearing the ball through Militao away on the edge of their own penalty area. But now, away down, Gakpo plays the ball in across the edge of the penalty area, but it's behind Jota, and Real Madrid can clear out to the left-hand side. But Robertson is still there. Liverpool early pressing here. Real Madrid, Benzema is back on the edge of his own penalty area. Very nearly gave it away to Gakpo. That was inches away from the toe of Gakpo, but instead he was able to find Rudiger, who cleared it away downfield. Very nearly a present.
Yeah, it was. It was a blind pass from Benzema, helping out on the edge of his own 18-yard line. Just about got away with that, but interesting start from Benzema. Better off at the other end, John, I think.
Well, yes. So here we are then, here to see if Liverpool can pull off this footballing miracle. If they do it, it'll top even what they achieved in recovering from the 3-goal deficit to knock out Barcelona and Lionel Messi back in 2019. That's what Alan Shearer said, your old strike partner, when he was with us for the first leg at Anfield, and I think he's absolutely right. But Real Madrid with the ball inside their own defensive third. It's played forward by Carvajal, but headed back for Liverpool. Fabinho to the left-hand side. 2 Premier League matches underway tonight as well, but Milner attacking in the Champions League down the left-hand side. Milner with a cross, took a deflection, but Courtois underneath that and able to catch it in his 6-yard box as he falls over. So 2 Premier League matches tonight, kicking off at 7:30 because it's a Champions League night. And Nick Godwin has the news of the first goal at Southampton this evening.
Yes, Southampton 0, Brentford 1. Ivan Toney got on the end of a Brian Mbemo corner. They tried to stop the ball from crossing the line, but Toney on the line managed to force it home. Southampton 0, Brentford 1.
Thank you, Nick. Brighton leading Crystal Palace by 1-0. Karim Benzema sent through here, had a shot on goal that was in an offside position by probably a couple of yards. Again, the assistant waited before flagging, but Alisson made the save anyway, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, it's very late. A good ball from Valverde in the centre circle through to Benzema, who had gone early, and it's a big frustration, isn't it, for players with obvious offsides that they aren't flagged. And
as for the formation involving Jurgen Klopp's Fab Four tonight, Jota and Gakpo and Nunez and Salah.
Yeah, it looks like Gakpo is a very versatile player, and Jota may well dovetail, but Gakpo is the one playing a little bit deeper. Jota more of in the centre forward position, and Milner and Fabinho will just sit in front of that back four and protect. But Liverpool have a number of versatile players, so that's one to watch that.
Another goal in the Championship, Cardiff City 0, West Brom 1, Daryl Dike with that one. So Blackburn winning 1-0 against Reading, and Luton 1-0 up on Bristol City. The other matches with goals. 5 Live final score is in operation tonight, by the way, on the red button, the iPlayer, BBC Sport website and app. Just click on 5 Live final score and you can listen to our commentary from Madrid here, alongside the video printout, the graphics and various other features. Real Madrid leading 5-2 from the first leg. I think I've got a Champions League record list of statistics and facts that point towards the fact that this is surely going to be a Real Madrid progression through into the quarter-finals. But as Jurgen Klopp said, they've got a 1% chance. And Real Madrid in possession. Real Madrid with Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger and Nacho. Alaba injured as he was in the first leg when he picked up that injury. Camavinga with Modric and Kroos either side, so Tchouaméni on the bench, and then Valverde, Vinicius either side of Benzema through the middle. Here's Modric. Modric does well, finds the space. Amazing how he does that. And then forward to Vinicius inside the box. Konaté's gone over there and dispossessed him. Well played, Konaté. Vinicius, who is in that position, arguably one of the most dangerous sights in world football at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is a key battle this evening. Vinicius up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I think people have, certainly questioned his defending, so he's got to stand up and defend strongly this evening and get the better of Vinicius if Liverpool want to succeed.
Vinicius now wins the first corner for Real Madrid. Modric is trotting over there to take it. The Cameron Norrie match at Indian Wells is over. We'll go there. We'll go to Russell Fuller in Florida in a moment or two. But first, in Madrid, Real Madrid with their first corner. Modric just leans over, spots a loose ball in front of the hoardings, and then steps off the pitch. It actually looks like quite a step down, doesn't it, there? As he then comes up and Modric swings it in, right-footed to the back post. Alexander-Arnold heads it out. Benzema with a shot. That's blocked in the area. Liverpool only half clear. Still inside the area. Fabinho hits it away. It hits Gakpo. Bounces fortunately to Salah, who then actually tried to find Alexander-Arnold and passed it straight out of play for a throw-in to Real Madrid. So 0-0 here, and come in Russell Fuller in California.
Cameron Norrie very out of sorts in the wind, John. Francis Tiafoe, a US Open semi-finalist, now an Indian Wells semi-finalist, having beaten the British number one 6-4, 6-4.
Thank you, Russell. Yes, got the geography sorted out in the end. Salah is trying to take the ball on through the middle. Rudiger, he beats him, then plays it. Chance! Nunez with a shot, but it's saved straight at Courtois. Right foot effort, slight angle, but he shot straight at the goalkeeper. And that was a big chance for Liverpool to get that first goal.
Yeah, it's a really poor finish. It was actually a misplaced pass from, I think it was Carvajal, a loopy pass, and Rudiger didn't deal with it. Salah got onto it, drove at Rudiger. Rudiger made the challenge, but the ball fell free to Salah, who then slipped in. Nunez, shooting chance 12 yards out, straight at Courtois. It's got to be hitting the corners there. Big opportunity missed from Liverpool.
Still 0-0 on the night, and now Real Madrid coming forward with Vinicius, and Vinicius takes it on down into the full-back position. Excellent work. Trent Alexander-Arnold slides in with a challenge which Felix Valla, the referee, says was a foul. And a free kick's taken quickly by Real Madrid, but the referee's not going to let them do that. Vinicius was running away with the ball into the penalty area, but it is a free kick in the full-back position.
Yeah, I think it was a free kick. Vinicius just gets his body in, and Alexander-Arnold goes to ground. Vinicius has got the legs on him at blistering pace. But what a chance for Liverpool, John. What, 6-7 minutes in?
Well, remember how Real Madrid, remember Militao scoring the goal in the first leg, where he just ran in and headed it in early in the second half. That was a crucial moment in the tie, which put Real Madrid ahead actually for the first time. And they've got a free kick on that on the left-hand side again. So let's just keep our eyes on Militao, who's actually at the back post at the moment. But it's played across the edge of the penalty area, and the shot is hit by Valverde, right-footed, the Uruguayan, but blocked on the edge of the penalty area, and it's rebounded all the way to the halfway line where Nunez and Jota are after it. Milner then plays it back to Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool have got it halfway inside their own half. Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0. And the ball bounces forward towards Benzema, who's in space, middle of the half, to his left. Vinicius in the box, he's looking for the overlap. Kroos is there, pulls it across, and it was behind. The intended pass was actually behind the arriving Benzema, and Liverpool were able to clear at the back post out for a corner.
Yeah, but that all came from a woeful pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold in a left-back position, trying to feed a ball in to Fabinho. Madrid break on them. It's a really poor pass from Toni Kroos in the end, behind Benzema. I should make that pass, a player of his quality. Had it been to Benzema's feet, Madrid would have been one up.
Yeah, I think for them, here comes the corner, which is headed away for Liverpool. Just out of the penalty area, Valverde takes it on. He's away from Alexander-Arnold. Valverde with a cross, but that's steered away by the right foot of Van Dijk near the corner of the 6-yard box, out of play for a throw-in to Real Madrid, away down below. They've actually extended the stadium upwards, so I think we're approximately 10 metres higher than we used to be when we would come here and sit in the commentary boxes at the top tier. 5 levels of the stadium now, as Real Madrid build on the left-hand side, and Benzema is out there, Vinicius as well. Vinicius, who is now the leading scorer for Real Madrid this season with the 19 goals that he scored. Benzema has had 4 different spells out with injuries. Didn't play against Espanyol on Saturday. Here's Vinicius on the left-hand side trying to take on Alexander-Arnold. Konate comes across as well and blocks it out for a throw 10 yards away from the corner flag.
That relationship Vinicius had with Benzema last season, I think over 100 goals and assists between them. But Benzema has had injury issues this season. Vinicius has stepped up and been pretty consistent all round.
Yeah, 19 goals, 10 assists in all competitions for Vinicius, as Alexander-Arnold has to take on and challenge Vinicius down near the corner flag, and it's come off the Liverpool right back, and it's another corner, 3rd one they've had from that far side. Modric just plays the ball, little 1-2 with the advertising hoardings. Away over there as Real Madrid attack towards the end to our right, where the Liverpool fans are watching down from on high. Modric again just steps down off the pitch, and Benzema at the back post, Militao near the penalty spot, Vinicius at the near post, Rudiger's there as well. In comes the corner, right-footed, it's over Militao, it's headed away by Van Dijk. Valverde with the shot, hits Fabinho inside the box. Valverde comes back to him, he lifts it across, that's headed away for Liverpool, but it comes out for Kroos with the shot, but it's straight at Alisson, or at least just slightly to his right, and he was able to just take a quick step to his right and gather the ball into his chest and hold it.
Yeah, I think fortunate for Alisson, the ball was straight at him. It was a good strike from Toni Kroos, edge of the box, took the ball down on his chest and lashed a left foot shot straight at Alisson though.
Let's update our 2 Premier League matches tonight then. Brighton Crystal Palace, Chris Wise.
Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 0, intense as expected. No clear chances though since that Solly March well taken goal 15 minutes in. Palace will be ruined the fact they didn't capitalise on early chances. Brighton 1, Palace 0, 4 minutes of the first half to go.
Still Napoli 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 0, so Napoli 2-0 up in the other Champions League match tonight. And Southampton Brentford, Nick Godwin.
Southampton 0, Brentford 1, about 3 minutes of the first half to go. Ivan Toney with a goal, tapping in from an Embremo corner, flicked on by Norgard. Southampton have tried to respond, but they're just not carrying a goal threat, and they trail Brentford 1-0.
Salah down the right-hand side, looked as though he might get away and create something there, but his ball across into the penalty area was cleared away and out for what is Liverpool's first corner. Rudiger sliding it away.
Yeah, but if you're Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, you're thinking get the ball out right to Salah, just push the ball past Nacho, and I mean, should have done better with the cross, but took 3 or 4 yards out of Nacho in that situation.
And Militao is just down on his haunches at the moment with some kind of problem. I don't know whether he's... he's holding his forehead.
He's saying some sort of elbow there, Militao.
Okay. Well, he's rubbing the side of his head, which is very imaginatively shaved. Long, very long on top and over the top, down the back, shaved at the sides. Corner for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold swings it in, it's headed across the box by Van Dijk. Real Madrid haven't cleared yet, but up she goes, hit it like a kicking horse. Valverde to the halfway line, and then Vinicius pulls the ball across to the right-hand side to Benzema, took a poor touch, and that meant that Cody Gakpo, back inside his own penalty area, who must have chased Benzema all the way back there, and like him, a poor touch actually off his knee as he tried to bring it down, and Liverpool, Gakpo, were able to clear and put it behind for a corner at one end to a corner at the other.
I mean, what a pass this is from Vinicius. Takes the ball down brilliantly halfway inside Liverpool's half, and the run, good run from Benzema, and Vinicius finds him left-footed, but you're right, John, Benzema takes a really poor second touch and the chance is gone.
Corner then for Real Madrid. Kroos takes it, gets it back into the back post. Rudiger heads it right across. Oh, and that's a very good save by Alisson, with Vinicius arriving point-blank range. The ball dropped between them, and Vinicius really just hit it straight into Alisson at close quarters. Important block by the Liverpool goalkeeper. Comes out to Kroos again on the right-hand side. Early chances in this match here in the Bernabeu, but still 0-0.
Well, it's an unbelievable save from Alisson. I thought for sure that Madrid would be a goal up, but Liverpool just haven't switched on, haven't started with the right intensity. It could be a couple of goals down at this moment in time, but Alisson, you felt, always needed a big night. I think he saved it with his chest in the end, just made himself big.
Yeah, it was right in front of him, and I think the proximity helped him. It was Real Madrid again, angle the ball back. Camavinga now out to, in fact, that pass is short. Robertson was able to step in and take it away for Liverpool, and Robertson passes it forward to Nunez. Nunez trying to get there. Rudiger slides in. I think he got the ball. He got Nunez as well. And the referee says, yes, play on. Oh, and then there's a right clattering challenge between Valverde and Milner, but both of them are up in a flash. No ill effects from that. Real Madrid with Vinicius playing the ball in field. It's come off Van Dijk, almost back to Vinicius. But Liverpool, fortunately for them, Konate was there, and Liverpool have got possession back.
A good break. All the danger for Madrid coming down that left-hand side. That's their plan. Ball out to Vinicius and let him attack Alexander-Arnold. But they've looked the bigger threat in the opening stages. The big Liverpool opportunity came from an error, misplaced pass. And there's those moments in games like this, Liverpool, they have to make the most of them.
5 Live from the BBC. Robertson hitting a long pass downfield for Nunez, but Courtois comes out to the edge of his box and hops into the air and catches it into his chest. Another opening goal in the Championship tonight. 6 matches in the Championship. It is Huddersfield Town 0, Norwich City 1. Gabriel Sara has scored the goal for Norwich. The leaders, Burnley, are at Hull City, and Ellen Allard's there.
Yeah, yet to see a goal here, but the best chances going the way of the league leaders. Just seeing an in-swinging corner from Johan Berg Gudmundsson. It fell really nicely in the centre of the 6-yard box, but Carl Darlow in the whole goal managed to make a really good block while tumbling backwards to keep it 0-0.
Foul on Benzema in the centre circle by Konate. It's a free kick to Real Madrid.
How was that not a yellow card for Konate? It's a well-weighted pass from Modric, surprise into Benzema, takes a really good first touch away from Konate. Konate lunges and brings him down. Should have been a yellow card.
Real Madrid take the free kick short in the centre circle, goes back to Kroos on the halfway line, then out to Vinicius. Vinicius on the left wing, up against Alexander-Arnold, very tight. Vinicius has got away from him though. Konate comes across as well. Now the 2 Liverpool men are there with him, but he's still in possession. Vinicius plays it round one side of Salah and tries to get round the other, and Salah didn't like that and put the challenge in, and it bounced out of play off the Real Madrid man for a throw-in to Liverpool. I enjoyed that.
He's a box of tricks, isn't he? Vinicius knocks it round.
Like oh dear.
Poked it round one side, ran round the other one.
The Egyptian king. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Throw into Liverpool. By the way, this referee, no yellow card for that challenge on Benzema. Felix Villa refereed 3 matches in the group stages. 3 matches, showed 22 yellow cards and gave 3 penalties in those matches, but no yellow card for that one.
Yeah, he's mellowing.
It must be with age, much like you. Here's Milner. Milner plays it square into the centre circle. We'll go for the half-time news in a moment in Brighton, but Liverpool with the ball in play, and Gakpo with it on the right-hand side. Salah then goes back to Alexander-Arnold. Salah wanted it from Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold delivers the pass into the path of Salah, and then back. It's sliced right across the goal by Jota. He was stretching for it, couldn't get a proper contact on it, and it went well wide actually, and eventually deflected out of play off Nunez for a goal kick.
Just got to slow himself down, Jota. It's a brilliant ball from Alexander-Arnold, and Salah has made a run in that right-hand channel in behind the Madrid back line, and he just feeds the ball with the outside of his left foot to Jota, who has a wild swipe at the ball, lashes at it and slices it, and it goes well wide. Actually stays in play for a little bit, but I think Liverpool have got to take one of these chances, John, when they get them.
Diogo Jota, who of course has missed a lot of time this season, as cross comes over for Liverpool to the right-hand side. Nunez beaten in the air by Militao, and Real Madrid bring it away. Jota has now not scored for Liverpool for the best part of a year. It was last April that Jota last scored for Liverpool, and that is 28 appearances given all of his absences. Kroos for Real Madrid, ball from him, left-footed. Space here for Carvajal on the right-hand side, approaching the box. Little pass to Modric on the edge of the area, but Modric just wide of Camavinga. And then Kroos in front of the centre circle. Kroos turns and taps it back to Rudiger. We will go to Brighton in a moment, I promise. It's half-time. Vinicius back to the far side to Nacho. Experienced Nacho. Looks as though he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. Here he is in possession again, playing it square. Camavinga, 25 yards out, hits the shot that hits the bar and bounces out. And Robertson's able to head it back to Alisson.
I think he got a fingertip to that, Alisson. This is a brilliant save. The second brilliant save Alisson has made. It's too easy, really, for Camavinga to get a shot off uncontested. 25 yards out and left-footed. He bends a ball and it's going into Alisson's left-hand top corner, but Alisson gets a left-hand or left fingertip to the ball onto the bar. Alisson keeping Liverpool in it.
Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0. Almost 20 minutes played. I cannot see this finishing 0-0. And how we've not had a goal so far is a wonder. And Liverpool, which makes me reluctant to go elsewhere while the ball is in play. And here the cross from the right-hand side is deflected for Liverpool to Modric on the edge of his own penalty area. And Kroos running the ball away, back heels it to Camavinga. That was very Real Madrid. And now they're in trouble, though, inside their own box, but Carvajal is able to find Courtois. Remember his error for the goal, the Salah goal in the first leg. But he deals with this. And then Benzema gives it to Vinicius on the left-hand side. Vinicius now running at Konate. Konate backpedaling. Still Vinicius, still going. And then pulling it square to Valverde. And Valverde has Modric ahead of him to the right. And Modric's ball in is deflected and bounces away. Alisson was racing along his goal line to see if he could get to it, but he couldn't, and it bounces behind and over the hoardings, over all of those photographers there. Dozens and dozens of them with their long lenses. Corner to Real Madrid.
Vinicius, he's just getting the ball out left and carries the ball up the field. Is their main threat this evening, that Modric trying to find Benzema. The speed isn't there anymore in terms of his legs, but his brain is working so well. Well-timed run from Benzema, didn't quite get to him.
Kroos with this latest Real Madrid corner, an outswinger headed away by Konate. Hasn't cleared the penalty area, but Fabinho is able to swing a right foot and clear it away, but it finds its way to Vinicius. That's dangerous. In it comes, headed away by Milner, comes out to Modric with the shot, and that flies over the top of the Liverpool crossbar into the Real Madrid fans behind the goal. Still 0-0, but yet another near thing.
Yeah, Milner heads the ball out, but it's straight at Luka Modric. You don't want to be heading the ball out to him with his right foot. Modric takes a touch and fires a ball, fizzes a ball just over the bar. Milner, to his credit, got out and shut him down, but not far away from Madrid there.
And you may have passed 50, Chris, but there's nothing wrong with your eyesight, because that was a brilliant fingertip save. I saw a replay there on the big screen that's hanging from the roof in front of us, and he did. It was a classic fingertip save onto the crossbar from that earlier shot from Camavinga. So it is still 0-0. Liverpool attacking now over the halfway line. Ball played infield. Fabinho is there briefly at Real Madrid 10 years ago when he was a teenager. Played most of his football for the B team. Here's Milner now, James Milner, 37 years old. Cross from the left-hand side from Robertson, but that was blocked partly by Carvajal. And Militao was able to get it away on the edge of the box.
You see Liverpool, John, just in possession. Alexander-Arnold taking up that position as an inverted fullback, taking Vinicius in with him. And Salah staying nice and wide. I think they're looking to release Salah in those 1v1 situations against Nacho.
Half-time in both matches in the Premier League, so we'll be going there once we get a chance. But Fabinho playing it through the middle, Alexander-Arnold, then back to Konate. Konate rolling it across, right-footed to Salah. Dark hair bobbing over there on the far side. Now shaven-headed Fabinho. Gakpo, who's dropped very, very deep. Then gives it to Milner on the left-hand side, and then further left to Robertson. Back it goes to the halfway line to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk through the middle. Fabinho might have a chance to take it on here, which he does, and then rolls the pass a little short though, and Nacho is in to block it out for a throw on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think he's had an average season, Fabinho, I really do. And that was a poor pass. Chance to really fizz the ball into Salah wide right, but under hit it allowed Nacho to nibble, and nibble he did.
Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0, and Konate gives it back to Fabinho. Van Dijk. His pass to Robertson on the left-hand side, just in front of where Carlo Ancelotti is there. Looking extremely casual, dark suit tonight. Milner, and back to Van Dijk behind him.
It's all a bit slow, isn't it? A little bit tentative.
There's a pass though, but it's in between the two Liverpool players, in between Salah cutting in from the right and Gakpo is moving to his right, and it's through for a goal kick. Right, I think we've got our chance now. Brighton Crystal Palace, Chris Wise.
Brighton leading Palace 1-0. March's goal, 7th of the season for him, but Palace have had big chances. Elise and Edouard, but lots for Patrick Vieira's team to do to get that first win of 2023 tonight. They're trailing Brighton 1-0.
And half-time at Southampton, Nick Godwin.
Southampton 0, Brentford 1. Tony's tap in after Norgard flicked on Mbuemo's corner. They could have had more, Tony and Mbuemo, with other chances. Southampton restricted to efforts from range. Ward-Prowse saved and Elianusi over the closest they've come. 1-0 to Brentford.
Vinicius from the left-hand side, cuts into the box, shoots, and it's blocked by Alisson, who makes another save. But the flag goes up, and it would not have counted if Vinicius had been able to convert.
This is a tighter one. It really is tight. I think he is just offside, but the assistant right to play the advantage. It's really clever. 2 quick touches, the shot off, and a smart save. That's 3 from Alisson. That one wouldn't have counted.
Liverpool with it on the right-hand side. Nunez has done well out there. Still going. Here's the cross that is pulled over right-footed. It's gone all the way to Robertson in the opposite full-back position. Robertson's ball across is bounced all the way to Fabinho, 25 yards out now to Alexander-Arnold. Right-footed ball in, glancing header across the face of goal, but well wide of the far post by Cody Gakpo. Goal kick, Real Madrid.
Another chance for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold, the ball gets out to him, right-hand side of the box. A brilliant cross in, and Gakpo, 12 yards out, has just used the pace of the ball and guide his header on target, and doesn't get the right connection. That's 3 decent chances Liverpool have had.
One match in the Women's Super League tonight. Tottenham winning 1-0 against Leicester. That was a 7 o'clock kick-off. And in the Championship, let's visit Sunderland. Mike Maine.
27 minutes gone, John. Sheffield United the better chances. Couple of really testing shots in the box from McAtee and Jefferson, needing Anthony Patterson to save. Sunderland's best effort inside the first 2 minutes, spilled but saved by Fotheringham. They've done little since. Sunderland 0, Sheffield United 0.
Real Madrid with it on the right, still 0-0 in this second leg, and Valverde is fouled, and it is a free kick to Real Madrid out here on the right-hand side, halfway down the right wing, that Carvajal is going to pick up and spin the ball back to little Modric, who just taps it square. Camavinga, who had that shot saved. He has Nacho taking it on now, the left back, works it out though as he approached the penalty area to the left-hand side to Vinicius, and square it comes infield towards Modric. Modric now digs out the pass. Carvajal got there ahead of Robertson. Valverde on the edge of the area, but Milner was in quickly on him and was able to take it away from him, and then plays it out of play off the Uruguayan shin for a throw into Liverpool. 0-0.
And I think James Milner quite right to protest to the assistant, saying, come on, I was clipped there. There was a foul on him. He didn't go to ground. Liverpool have a throw in. You know you're going to get from Milner. He's an absolute warrior, isn't he? He's an all-inner. Liverpool, I think there's been a problem for them in that central midfield area all season. Jurgen Klopp talking about this evening, they need to get their press right in the middle of the park. I think that Madrid have been pretty comfortable in terms of possession, but Liverpool have had the odd chance, John.
Van Dijk, long pass to Salah. How many times have we seen that over the years? And Salah was able to get it down, was challenged by Nacho, brought down, arms around him, free kick to Liverpool, 5 or 6, a little bit more than that actually, best part of 10 yards inside the Real Madrid half. It is still 0-0. Chris Sutton said first goal all important as Salah comes in from the right-hand side. Left-footed ball though is headed away on the edge of his own penalty area. Real Madrid with Valverde and Carvajal just keeps that in. He's been forced down there next to the corner flag, bounces off Nunez. Robertson gets in there. Robertson's cross is flicked away by Rudiger on the edge of the box. Salah was right behind him there, but he got that absolutely right to put it out for a throw.
But Salah on his heels there. Robertson did brilliantly to actually get the cross in, and Salah should have made the movement earlier.
Headed into the box for Salah again after the throw was taken, and Rudiger little steps, just sees it behind. It's almost balletic by Rudiger, who was just shielding it in that way, and it is a goal kick to Real Madrid. It is still 0-0, so 0-0. Liverpool have to win by 4 goals if they're going to go through without recourse to penalties, and Real Madrid have never lost a European match at home by that margin. Ball with Robertson, who has got the better of Valverde, and we're going back to Sunderland now and Mike Miney, because
there's been a goal, John. Half an hour on the clock. It's the PSG loanee Edouard Michu with the goal. Ball put through on the right hand side inside the penalty area, and he drilled it low into the bottom left hand corner. Sunderland, who've done little, lead Sheffield United 1-0.
And there has been an opening goal in the match involving the leaders as well. Alan Allard.
Yeah, absolutely inevitable from Burnley. They lead 1-0. Nathan Tella was on the end of a Jordan Byerclock cross that was absolutely sublime. Tella took the time to switch free and just slotted it past the keeper. Whole nil, Burnley 1.
17th goal of the season for Tella. Now chance for Nunez with a header, but he was probably 12-13 yards out. Back post, headed it goalwards, but straight at Courtois.
Yeah, he's good in the air though, Nunez. It's good from Fabinho. Just saw a little space open up on the right hand side and drove the space. Nunez peeling away on the diagonal. Difficult to score from there, but not a bad effort.
Still 0-0 Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold to the right hand side, where it's flicked forward for Milner, who crosses low. That's cleared away back to Milner by Rudiger, and then it bounces away off Milner. Kroos was there with him, the two of them together, 2 old stagers, and in the end, goal kick to Real Madrid. Well, half an hour played now, still goalless after all of the thrills and spills and goals of the first leg at Anfield, that astonishing night. Still waiting for the opening goal of the second leg. Real Madrid playing it out from the back. Kroos receives it from Courtois. Now here's Camavinga with that hair bobbing around down the back of his head. Valverde to Modric, and then again Valverde turns and just knocks it infield to Kroos, who goes for a long crossfield pass right onto the chest of Vinicius. Classic Kroos, that, wasn't it, to set himself in that way and hit it with the top of his boot. Rolls-Royce play by Kroos, or Mercedes-Benz play, perhaps more fittingly. Here's Camavinga in the centre circle. Never say that, do you? You say Rolls-Royce, never.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz.
There are other German models as well.
There are. Ball played through the middle, that looked offside. An early flag, shock of shocks, and it's a free kick for Liverpool. This is the first of 2 nights of European commentaries from Spain. Tomorrow night, early start, 5:45, so drive comes off early tomorrow for the second leg of Real Betis against Manchester United. But here tonight in the capital, Madrid, Nunez down the left-hand side. Nunez coming infield, goes for the right foot shot, and Courtois down to his left, got a hand to it to push it away. It might well have been creeping in. From our angle here, we were right behind it. Good save, Courtois.
Oh, it was. Brilliant save from Courtois. I think it was just nicking in, and Courtois at full stretch. That big left arm out, that lengthy left arm, to fingertip it round the post. It's a good ball from Milner, and Nunez getting the better of Carvajal in a foot race, taking the ball and driving on the inside, left-hand side of the box, bending a shot which was heading in. Liverpool going for a Robertson corner from the right, in swinger right under the nose of Courtois, who's able to push it away, but it comes back. Looked like a pulled shirt on Konate inside the area there, but he was able to get the ball down, shoot, no protests, and the ball is wide and behind for a goal kick. So Courtois made his first big contribution, and memories there of when we were at the Stade de France for the final last year, when he was absolutely and quite literally unbeatable. Courtois, man of the match, wasn't he? He made a couple of incredible saves, and I've got to say that was an incredible save this evening.
Very
full
good
stretch. Great effort from Nunez. missed that early chance, didn't he? That wasn't, you wouldn't really class the effort he just had as a chance, but as the first one, free shot at goal, what, 12 yards out, angle a little bit against him, but I think a really ruthless finisher would have finished that, and that's been the criticism of Nunez, hasn't it? Doesn't take his chances.
14 goals so far. Took a brilliant chance in the first leg, that opening goal. Liverpool, who were 2-0 up in the tie in 14 minutes, but 5-2 down still, as Vinicius cuts in from the left-hand side into the penalty area, still going, but shoots straight at Alisson from maybe 15 yards. Was falling as he did so, and didn't really catch it as he would have wanted, and it was straight at Alisson, who was able to drop down on it.
Trent Alexander-Arnold needs help though, doesn't he? That's a big part of that Madrid game plan. So that many times in this first half, ball out to Vinicius, and in those 1v1 situations, there's only going to be one winner. Quite a tame effort as he drove inside on that right foot, and Alisson gathered comfortably.
10 minutes to half-time. Here's Milner now approaching the penalty area, right-footed ball into the box. Salah with his back to goal, plays it out to the edge of the area to Jota, and then the shot's driven in by Gakpo from the right side of the area, but Courtois had a good sight on that and was able to dive down to his right and push it away behind the post for another Liverpool corner.
A little set from Jota to Gakpo, takes one touch to set himself. The ball just sits up a little bit, and Gakpo thinks, I'm going for power, puts his big right boot through it, but it's not going to beat Courtois at his near post. What a comfortable save, good power on the shot.
They're going right-footer again for this next corner, so Robertson took the last. Alexander-Arnold takes this into the near post, and Salah very nearly got there. Real Madrid had to be sharp there, but they were, and it was Benzema actually who was there with Salah to put it behind. It very nearly found its way to him.
Yeah, it was a little bit like the Barcelona corner, wasn't it, where Alexander-Arnold really switched on, and Salah was as well, just starting position on the goalkeeper, made a run narrow into that near post space position, but Madrid were switched on as well.
This corner's an outswinger, Van Dijk heads it across the box, Milner with a shot, sliced it, still inside the area, offside flag goes up, and it is a free kick to Real Madrid inside their own penalty area. So a free kick to the holders, still 0-0 on the night. And mention of last season's final, actually, I was with, as you know, Chris, one of the Spanish radio journalists who was on the Football Daily, actually, the away day special this morning, Antonio Menea of Cadena Ser, and he was saying, he said, he asked me tonight to apologise, any Liverpool supporters who were aware of the way that Spanish radio and the media reported the events of the final last year, because of the fact that they were working on, he said, we were working on police advice and UEFA advice, and he said, we know now what the truth is, and he said, would like to apologise if anyone was upset with the way that it was reported on Spanish radio. Ball's out of play on the far side, comes Salah and Nacho together, and Nacho's gone down, he's pulled his boot off. So he's suggesting that Salah has stood on his foot. So we've got a stoppage. Back to Southampton and Nick Godwin.
Yeah, Brentford still leading 1-0, but Southampton have had their best chance of the game. Kyle Walker-Peters' cross found Che Adams, whose shot beat right at the goalkeeper. Hickey, though, cleared it off the line. Southampton has started very positively in this second half, trailing Brentford by 1-0.
Half-time whistles going in the matches in the Championship tonight, 7:45 kickoffs. Blackburn 1, Reading 0, still Luton 1, Bristol City 0, still Cardiff 0, West Brom 1, still Huddersfield 0, Norwich 1, and half-time at Hull. Ellen Allard.
Hull 0, Burnley 1. The league leaders took their time to find the back of the net. Barnes and Goodmanson came close before Nathan Teller, who's been in incredible form of late, received a great ball from Ekdal. He took his time to switch feet and then 10 yards out sent his shot past Darlow in the Hull goal. Before that, though, Hull did have some promising attacking runs forward. Traore looking a bright spark on his full home debut. He's been picking out some brilliant passes, but no end product from the hosts yet. Hull 0, Burnley 1.
Still 0-0 here in Madrid, and play's not resumed yet.
How long does it take a footballer to do a boot lace up?
He didn't receive treatment. And did you see a replay of the incident?
Salah stood on his foot, didn't he? And he maybe tightened his boot laces up, but he took a while to do them up, John.
He did. Kroos playing the ball into his own left-back position. Rudiger, Champions League winner with Chelsea, plays it back to Courtois. That's a little risky by Camavinga. Back to Rudiger on the far side of the area. Rudiger very nearly gave it away to Alexander-Arnold, but Alexander-Arnold's touch delivered it back to the feet of Rudiger, and then there's a foul on Vinicius over on the far side, so that'll give us a chance to go back to Sunderland, Sheffield United and Mike Mainay.
About 7 minutes left of this first half. John, Sunderland lead 1-0. Michu's goal, his first ever goal in a Sunderland shirt. The difference finishing into the bottom left-hand corner. Sheffield United here, though, have a free kick from Doyle, which they put into the box, headed on by a Sunderland player, but into the hands of Anthony Patterson, who clutches it gratefully. Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 0.
Challenge by Fabinho in the centre circle on the surging Kroos is given as a free kick. Debatable on first viewing.
He does stand on Kroos's right boot, Fabinho's left boot, and it was actually a good foul from Liverpool's point of view, because had Kroos gone past Fabinho, that Liverpool high line, Vinicius would have been in.
Camavinga's given it away. Slack pass from him to Robertson. So Liverpool inside the Real Madrid defensive third, with Nunez, who runs it actually away back towards the halfway line, passes it to Van Dijk. Van Dijk thought about going right, instead goes forward to Milner, playing in place of the absent Jordan Henderson. Fabinho now, right-footed ball is over the top of Alexander-Arnold, high above his head, out of play for a throw-in. So we'll have to see if Jordan Henderson is in the England squad tomorrow. Gareth Southgate naming his first squad since the World Cup for the matches in Naples next week, and then at home to Ukraine. You'll hear commentary on both of those matches. First Euro qualifiers here on 5 Live, and the squad announcement 2 p.m. tomorrow, and you'll hear it on 5 Live. But the ball bouncing with Real Madrid. Rudiger is being put under pressure by Alexander-Arnold. He's able to get it away, but only to Fabinho. Fabinho to Salah. Salah tried to angle it infield, but Kroos was in the right place for Real Madrid. And now Benzema halfway inside his own half still. And Real Madrid with Camavinga. Applause there for the role that he plays. He has definitely got a touch of the Casemiro about him. I said that in the first leg, but you know, the body language, Camavinga. No Tchouaméni tonight. And Real Madrid, he's on the bench, though I should say Tchouaméni, but Camavinga preferred in that position, which is where he played in the first leg. Modric now turning, he was brilliant, remember, as Real Madrid took charge at Anfield, and then Camavinga goes back to goalkeeper Courtois. 3.5 minutes to go of the first half, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, I don't think Modric has given the ball away. Just has that wonderful vision and awareness, and makes everything look so easy. It's not easy, of course, at this level. The weight of his pass is just exceptional.
Ball forward from Carvajal, Valverde on the chase, but Konate is able to get it down under pressure. Valverde might have been fouling him, he was. Played it back to Alisson, who cleared, but the foul is given, and the two players slap hands together, Valverde and Konate. So still Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0. Yes, commentary tomorrow night on Real Betis against Manchester United, and it is a Europa League double bill, because we will then have commentary on Arsenal against Sporting, the second leg, with that tie level at 2-2. But Alistair Bruce Ball and Rob Green, first of all, will be in Seville in the Estadio Benito Villamarín to bring you commentary from the beautiful city of Seville. Forward from Milner, low to the edge of the penalty area, but that's cleared by Militao, and now Modric chips the ball over the top of Gakpo to Kroos, and now it's rolled forward down the left-hand side to Vinicius, who begins to move infield ominously, but Vinicius picks out Kroos, and then Kroos back to Camavinga forward of the centre circle, and off he goes, arms whirling. Camavinga uses Valverde to his right. He has Carvajal on the right-hand side, back to Valverde again, and Real Madrid feels like most of the team have had a touch of the ball in this particular move. Kroos almost dropping in between the two central defenders, and then Camavinga says, I'll tell you what, I'll give Courtois a touch of the ball from the halfway line. Out from him, Militao's lost it, but Kroos plays it into Gakpo. Ball bounces across. Referee says Gakpo
he's offside in fairness,
position.
Yeah. It was Kroos who actually kicked the ball against Gakpo. I think that was very harsh. it was given as offside, not a handball. But I mean, the contrast in the midfield threes of each side. You know, the Madrid players, Modric, Camavinga, Kroos really comfortable on the ball. Take Gakpo out of the equation. I think he's been asked to play a little bit deeper. I think he's, you know, decent on the ball, but Fabinho and Milner really have struggled, I think, at times in terms of their distribution. That's been telling.
Ball played through the middle. I thought Valverde might be offside. He was, yeah. So that's another free kick, another early flag. It's catching. Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0. Yeah, so you think that that's not working as Jurgen Klopp might have hoped it would then, Chris?
I think, look, Liverpool have had the chances, but you need a bit of creativity and quality in the middle of the park, and I think Liverpool have lacked that speed of passing, which we've seen at times from Real Madrid. It's all been a little bit too comfortable for Real Madrid. I think that Ancelotti will be quite happy going in at half-time. I think they've controlled the game, albeit Liverpool have had the, you know, one or two or maybe three opportunities.
Liverpool coming forward through the middle. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. The ball bounces away for Real Madrid in the right back area, and then there's a foul on Nunez by Nunez, and it's a free kick for Carvajal and Real Madrid down there. Back to Sunderland, Mike Maine.
3 minutes of added time shown. Sheffield United get a spring in their step and get themselves probably on the balance of the first half a deserved equaliser. Joe Geldhart right at the penalty area. Lovely finish with his left boot into the bottom left-hand corner. Sheffield United level. Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 1.
Real Madrid coming forward. Here's Vinicius, 30 yards out, now approaching the area, and then red shirts converge on him, but he still finds Benzema, whose shot deflects off Milner, took all the pace off it, and it just rolled through to Alisson to pick up. Carlo Ancelotti, I'm sure, Chris, as you say, will be, this'll do, absolutely. You know, they haven't been able to stretch their lead, but they've not conceded. Important saves. The goalkeepers have played a big part, actually, after having both made mistakes in the first leg, that crazy first leg. Here's Salado, just outside the area. Alexander-Arnold arriving on the right-hand side, drives it across low, and it hits Rudiger, who just fell in front of it and blocked it behind for a corner wide of the near post.
Yeah, it's a good position Liverpool worked themselves into. Salah outright to Alexander-Arnold. How many times have we seen Rudiger do that over the years, though? Last-ditch block in that near post space area, really important block, because Alexander-Arnold normally so accurate with his crosses.
This makes it 5 corners each in the first half, if I've got that right. Alexander-Arnold takes this latest corner, an outswinger. It's over everyone, but Gakpo, backing away, is then challenged by Valverde, who claims that he was being impeded by Gakpo. However, it's back with Robertson. Long pass from him towards the edge of the area. That's headed away and down, and Alexander-Arnold will allow that to roll out of play, but I think that's going to be it. Yes, it is. It is half-time here in the Bernabeu, and it is 0-0. So no further addition to the scoring from the dramatic first leg, but I can tell you that Napoli have taken the lead against Eintracht Frankfurt, so that is 3-0 on aggregate, and it's another goal for Victor Osimhen. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, just, you know, watching the body language of the Liverpool players coming off. I mean, they had chances in the first half, so did Madrid. I thought Madrid had the better of the first half, but maybe Liverpool lacking a bit of intensity, or maybe that comes from a lack of belief. I'm not so sure they actually believe they can turn this game around, but they, you know, they haven't conceded a goal. They are still in it, but they have to show more belief in the second half, and I think they've got to be braver, and you know, it comes a time when they have to be really gung-ho, but slightly flat, I think, that first half from Liverpool.
Yeah. But important saves, chances at both ends. When we were discussing all of the various permutations and possibilities tonight, one of them was what would happen if it was still 0-0 with 15 minutes to go, so that might yet happen. Half-time, Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0.
And what was the answer to that question when you were discussing it?
I think the next part was, and then Liverpool score. And what was your answer, Chris?
I think it was a really positive answer.
It was,
Mark,
yeah, that's right. I remember now. It was uber positive, super positive, as I think the continental coaches
say. Uber positive. I'd have had to Google that, I think.
Charlie Adam is with us as well, as those two mumble away in the background. They've had chances, haven't they? But there hasn't been that much conviction, I suppose, is what Chris and John have been saying.
Yeah, there was no... like Chris said in the commentary, that I think Núñez has got to do better with the chance that he has. He shoots right straight at Courtois. I think if he goes back across the goalkeeper, then I think he's got a better chance of scoring. But Madrid have had big chances. Good save, strike from the edge of the box, Camavinga, and the one that Alisson tipped onto the bar. But Liverpool just need to get into that final moment and the final bit of the pitch where they can actually go and create a top chance where that maybe somebody can go and finish it off. But it's been a game that we expected. That Madrid having a lot of the ball, but once Liverpool get hold of it, I think they need to go and cause Madrid a little bit more problems if they want to try and progress to the second half.
I mean, you could say the same thing, that Real Madrid have probably had a similar number of chances to Liverpool, couldn't you, Charlie?
Yeah, there's not been much in the game, but if you would say about the big chances in terms of working the goalkeeper, I think Madrid have worked Alisson more than what Liverpool have worked Courtois. But it's that chance from Núñez from a Liverpool point of view was a good enough chance for him to at least do better than he did. And second half they'll probably open up a little bit more, but the longer the game goes, Madrid will be happy.
Okay, so it's goalless there. The other game is between Napoli and Frankfurt. Remember, Napoli had a 2-0 Eintracht Frankfurt. Napoli had a 2-0 lead from the first leg, and they lead again this evening. Watching this one for us, Sani Rujavagila.
It's all about Victor Osimhen, whose header on the stroke of half-time has given Napoli a 3-goal lead overall. I don't know how good you are on your TikTok, chappers, but Osimhen's gone viral there with a song sung by a monk all about him. They love him in Napoli, they love Nigeria as well. He's made the difference so far. Napoli leading 3-0 overall, but it's Napoli 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 0 at half-time.
Thank you very much. Let's go round the Premier League games. 2 of them this evening, both of them kicked off at 7:30, so we're about midway, just shy of midway through the second half in both of these. Let's start with Brighton Crystal Palace. Chris Wise.
Brighton are leading Crystal Palace 1-0. That goal coming 15 minutes in. We haven't had too much excitement on the pitch in the second half. We have, though, had a power cut. That's perhaps the most interesting thing that's happened. The lights went out. All our equipment went out as well. The game was stopped for several minutes. The referee couldn't communicate with Stockley Park. Finally, when he could, the game got back underway again. And aside from that, Roberto De Zerbi's been booked for speaking out of turn. Not about the troublesome electrics, I should add. Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Brighton will go level on points with Liverpool, and they've played a game fewer as well, have Brighton. If that stays that way, Brentford would just be a point behind them if things stay as they are, because they lead at bottom of the table Southampton. Nick.
Yeah, just under half an hour to go. Still Southampton 0, Brentford 1. That goal in the first half from Ivan Toney. Not the prettiest of goals. Brian Mbeumo's corner was flicked on by Christian Norgard, and Ivan Toney just got his foot in front of Kyle Walker-Peters to touch it in on the line virtually. Southampton created very little in that first 45 minutes. They've been better in the second. Che Adams beat Raya with a drive from about 8 yards, but Aaron Hickey was on the line to divert the ball away, and James Ward-Prowse has just whipped a free kick from 24 yards, fractionally wide of Brentford's right-hand upright. Southampton therefore starting to create, and they really haven't done much so far in front of goal, but Brentford still have the advantage. They lead by 1-0.
One 8 o'clock game in the Championship. All the others are 7:45, so this one at the Stadium of Light is at half-time. Mike Minor.
Yeah, Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 1 doesn't really help either side out in their various battles for promotion. The visitors will feel happy with the equaliser at the break because they had the better chances. A lot of early pressure, forcing Anthony Patterson into a couple of saves, but it was the Black Cats with a little bit of luck. Edouard Michu with the goal, sending it low into the bottom left. Inside the penalty area for a 1-0 lead. As the added time board went up, so did Sheffield United's momentum, though. They charged forward with James McAtee, the Manchester City loanee, in on the right of the box. Lovely left-footed curling finish into the far corner. It means at the break mark, Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 1.
Second half about to get underway at Hull, where the leaders Burnley have a 1-goal lead. Ellen Ellard.
Yeah, changes for Hull at half-time as well. Oscar Estupiñán is coming on. Hull are in good form at home. They trail by 1-0, but they mean business.
Just 1 goal in it in all the other 7:45 games. Blackburn lead Reading by 1-0. West Brom are 1-up at Cardiff. The same for Norwich at Huddersfield. And Luton lead Bristol City by 1-0. The game in the Women's Super League has just finished. Tottenham, remember, sacked their head coach Rhian Skinner this week. And they've beaten Leicester by 1-0. Beth England with that goal. Tottenham are 9th. Leicester remain bottom of the table. 5 to 9, this is 5 Live. Here's Jill McKenzie.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Chancellor has defended his budget, promising his plan will fill 1 million vacancies up and down the country. Jeremy Hunt wants to boost the workforce and grow the economy. He's extending England's free childcare scheme, so from September 2025, working parents of 9-month-old babies and older will be able to access 30 hours during term time. There are also changes to tax rules, so higher earners can save more into their pensions tax-free. The idea is to encourage people who've taken early retirement back into work. Speaking to the BBC this evening, the Chancellor rejected claims that he'd created a budget for the rich.
Well, of course we want to help older people who want to stay in work, and by definition they will generally be on higher salaries. Nearly 5 times more help is going to young parents to help them with childcare costs. That will make a huge difference to families, but also it will make a huge difference to businesses who worry, particularly smaller businesses, that they're losing valuable employees when they start a family.
There were also promises of help with the cost of living, including freezing fuel duty and extending the scheme to help with energy bills. Our political editor is Chris Mason.
The real scrutiny is beginning this evening as the documents, and there's hundreds of pages of them, are poured over. And a quick prediction too about the political row to come. It's going to be, I think, about pensions and those perks for those who earn the most. Labour will go after the government on this and force it to a vote at the beginning of next week.
Swiss regulators say they're ready to help the troubled banking giant Credit Suisse if necessary, as the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in the US has raised fears of a wider crisis. Shares in Credit Suisse plunged 24% to a record low. And US officials say Russia is making small advances near the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut. General Mark Milley told reporters the Russians were slowly moving in, but at a great cost.
Grab your red noses and join us!
Red Nose Day returns.
It's for a good cause.
Graham Norton kicks things off for Eurovision.
We're S Club 7.
Can we audition? We'll look into it.
The Traitors get the French and Saunders treatment.
The person who gets the most votes will be banished immediately.
Ghosts welcome a very special guest.
It's actual Kylie Minogue. She's huge.
She's really not.
And so much more.
Join us for Red Nose Day 2023.
Friday from 7 on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live, your football station.
The UEFA Champions League.
With Mark Chapman.
Goalless between Real Madrid and Liverpool at the break. So the European champions still lead 5-2 on aggregate from that remarkable first leg. Second half on the way. If you want to watch some live sport tonight, by the way, there's live NBA on BBC One this evening, also on the iPlayer and the BBC Sport app. So that's Cleveland Cavaliers against the Philadelphia 76ers from 11:30 tonight, BBC One, iPlayer and the BBC Sport app. Now, as we were talking about earlier, the Six Nations ends this weekend. Ireland 1 win away from the Grand Slam. Full commentary here on 5 Live from Dublin from 5 o'clock as they take on a wounded England after they were walloped by France. Captain Ellis Genge has explained how you have to react to a heavy defeat.
Be honest, look at yourself first, and then find out why you lost. And I think we've done a good job of that. I don't think anyone's alien to that. I think we're all very much so on board with this as a process of getting better, and there's quite a big gap between us and the top of the world at the moment.
So all the reasons that the game went why it went, anybody who watched the game would know them. Do you have to highlight a few and look to fix them well, or do you try and just do a little bit of everything?
I think they're all underpinned by one thing, which is like fighting and working hard for each other, and I don't think we necessarily did that for the whole game, which is unusual for us. and probably why the scoreline was the way it was.
So it's unusual for you and unusual for a Steve Borthwick coach team, because the message about Steve wanted from his team was to have that high work rate. Can you pinpoint why that didn't happen?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight, you know. It's like relationships. They take a while to grow, to trust, and to be there for each other. You can be as nice as you want to someone for a fair few weeks. Don't mean they're going to have your back for when the going gets tough, which I don't actually necessarily think is a characteristic of ours in terms of folding. I don't think these players, you watch them play club rugby, and the players we've got, myself included, I think we've actually got some real dog. Just because of the way the game went, we took a foot off the gas, and France, being second best team in the world at the moment, ran away with it.
Something that is spoken about a load when it comes to pro sport is confidence. You can't manufacture it, I imagine. You can't buy it. How do you go about getting it when you might not have it?
Training well, showing each other that you want to work for each other, graft. That's all you need, really, isn't it? Like, you work hard for someone. I don't think there's massive difference in skill level and player caliber and stuff within majority of the teams in the world. It's just people working hard on the day and effort and the things that you can control, because talent and stuff is another question, but I don't think we lack that. It was just being on the same page and all fighting to the bitter end, and it's just what we didn't do on Saturday.
Let's move on to Ireland then. Some would say it's the worst possible assignment after a result like that to go to the number one team in the world, but could you
all
also
the best, yeah.
You could see it's the best, could you? Yeah.
Why not? We can't hide anyway. We found it out on Saturday, didn't we?
Yeah.
There is no hiding place. So I think naturally you'll see a reaction. Will we find out much more about ourselves? Potentially, if we front up. For me, and it sounds quite soft to say, but it's not necessarily about going out there and thinking about scoring all mental tries. And we just want to see as a team, us as a group, fight for each other till the last minute, and I think we'll get that.
Well, that was Ellis Genge with our correspondent Chris Jones. Chris with us now. They are hurting, aren't they? They are in a bad place at the moment.
Yeah, and really interesting stuff from Genge. I think England fans, they'll go, well, is it more than fight? They'll let you go, well, where was the fight? Why was there not 80 minutes of fight? And it's rare for a rugby player to admit that they didn't give it everything. That's very rare. It's honest, and it's good to hear the honesty, but England fans will think, well, you know, where was it? That's something they've got to rectify. And some of our listeners might go, well, yeah, there's bigger discrepancies between the teams, you know, France, Ireland and England. There's more than just kind of work rate and dog and fight. But I suppose England's mindset has to be they're not supermen. England can beat them. They've just got to go and put it all out there. I think if you go to a team like Ireland, the way they're playing, and admit to yourselves that you're not as good a rugby team, then England could be on for a hiding. So psychologically, what a challenge for England, given where they've been this week and what happened to them last Saturday.
What a challenge for Steve Borthwick as well when it comes to his selection, really, which we will know tomorrow.
We'll know tomorrow. He's got to make a couple of changes. Ollie Chesham out, so he will need a new lock, Nick Asikwa or Johnny Hill. He'd have been tempted to reshuffle the back row. I think Chesham was going to play 6, but he can't now because he got injured in training Tuesday. Owen Farrell's a doubt for this game, chappers. That's emerged this evening that he also got injured earlier in the week. If Farrell does pull through, I think he returns to play 10 and captains, and Manu Tuilagi comes back into the midfield as well. So there will be changes for England, but not major selectorial surgery. I think Borthwick will give a lot of the same players a chance to make amends and prove it was just a crazy aberration and not a sign that England are way off the top teams in the world. It feels like a bit of a fork in the road. England go one way, compete, show they've got it, show they're building, or they go and take a 40-50 pointer, and loads of questions get asked about the whole of English rugby top to bottom if they aren't already.
Thank you very much, Chris. Chris and the team bringing you full commentary of Ireland against England from 5 o'clock on 5 Live. The other two games, Scotland, Italy at noon, Wales, France at 2:30. You can listen to both of those on Sports Extra. Energumene won the big race at Cheltenham today. The Queen Mother champion chase. Coverage of the festival back on Sports Extra from 1:15 tomorrow afternoon. And we will have full coverage of the Gold Cup on Friday afternoon here on 5 Live from 2 o'clock. Cameron Norrie, by the way, out of Indian Wells in the quarter-final stage. Second half about to get back underway in Madrid. Liverpool still have it all to do. Let's rejoin Chris and John.
Yes, looking down from our glass-fronted commentary box, the players just have all walked across. There's a blue carpet there with the Real Madrid club badge on. It's also got written on it, Road to Istanbul. As the second half begins, Real Madrid all in white, kicking off. Luka Modric was the first touch of the second half, and the ball is hit away down the left-hand side for Nacho to chase, but it's out for a throw-in to Liverpool. But with this scoreline, Chris Sutton, 0-0 at half-time, this is where the road to Istanbul runs out for Liverpool, unless they can produce something extraordinary.
Yeah, and this is where their season, I won't say will fizzle out. There'll be that race for the top four, of course, which I don't know how excited football fans get with that, actually, John, but that will be all Liverpool have to play for. It's been a disappointing season, so really, you know, it's now or never from Liverpool. Well, I just you know, said to you at half-time or during half-time, I just don't know whether they actually have the belief that they can turn this round. They've got nothing to lose.
So no changes at half-time. Liverpool in possession. Ball's played in field. Milner stretching to get there against Camavinga, but he did, and it bounced out to the far side, but it rolls out of play after Nunez's attempted return pass to Jota. Throw into Real Madrid, who have Courtois in goal. Back four tonight of Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger and Nacho. In midfield, Camavinga in the middle with Modric and Kroos either side of him. Tchouameni's among the substitutes. Valverde on the right, Vinicius on the left, and captain Benzema through the middle. Liverpool side in a moment. In fact, Nunez passes it behind Jota, who has to make his way out to the left-hand side, takes it on, but the touch is heavy and it runs away through off the Real Madrid man, Carvajal low, so it is a corner, an early corner in the second half. Liverpool with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, and then Milner and Fabinho with Gakpo playing as the sort of number 10, Jota further forward, Salah on the right, Nunez on the left. So first corner of the second half. Still, we're in this position where the first goal is very important. Outswinger from Robertson to the near post. Up goes Camavinga to head it away. Heads it out to Milner, who gets the ball under control and stabs it back to Alexander-Arnold, who hits a pass over the top to Gakpo, who heads it back to the edge of the area. Konate's there for Liverpool. Here's Salah now. Lots of white shirts in there. Goes back to Fabinho. He curls it into the back post, but beyond everyone. Over all of the white and red shirts, and it's a goal kick for Real Madrid, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, just imagine, they just need that first goal. They absolutely do. That will change everything in this game. They've got to find a way of putting pressure on this Madrid team and not let Madrid control the game as they did in the first half.
As Camavinga is fouled by Jota. We are on 5 Live Final Score tonight, by the way, on Red Button, iPlayer and BBC Sport website and app. So the full house tonight, click on 5 Live Final Score, where you can listen to the commentary and watch the video printer and all of the various bits and pieces. Liverpool bringing the ball away with Gakpo inside his own half, then back towards Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool, who are playing in this second half from left to right, so they're attacking towards the end where their supporters are, almost 2,000 of them up in the rapidly rebuilt top tier, the new top tier of the Bernabeu Stadium, or the Bernabeu if you prefer. Here is Carvajal to Valverde, and then Modric, little touch from him, first time back out towards the right, and Carvajal finds its way back into the centre circle. Kroos sets himself but doesn't get the pass right this time, headed forward by Alexander-Arnold, but Rudiger steps in, the former Chelsea man. Rudiger to Camavinga, and Camavinga turns away from Milner, and there has been another goal at Hull. Ellen Allard.
Yeah, Burnley double their lead here, and it's braces in consecutive games for Nathan Tella. A wonderful ball into the box from Ian Maatsen, and it was chopped at by Tella, but Carl Darlow could do nothing about it in the Hull goal. Hull 0, Burnley 2.
Thank you, Ellen. Camavinga is tripped by Jota, goes down. It's a free kick to Real Madrid in front of their, just in front of the centre circle. So Real Madrid still, I think you would have to say, with 1 foot, 1.5 feet, 1 3/4 feet in the quarterfinals.
Maybe even a bit more, John.
1 foot and 4 toes. Here's Vinicius on the left-hand side. Then Benzema back to Kroos. In comes the challenge. Kroos goes down, not given as a free kick, but Real Madrid bringing it forward. Here's Benzema on the left-hand side, then Valverde back to Camavinga, Modric 25 yards out. Modric starts to run through the middle, but Fabinho is able to intercept, and Milner is then upended halfway inside his own half. Free kick to Liverpool. Reading have scored. Reading have equalised against Blackburn after Brereton Diaz gave Blackburn the lead in the first half. Cesare Casadei has scored for Reading. It's 1-1 at Ewood Park, your old stamping ground, Chris, or one of your old stamping.
Yeah, one of them. It was a while ago now. I remember Blackburn Rovers in Champions League competition.
Yeah.
When the only sort of great memory, or not, it wasn't a great memory of that particular season, was.
But it's never forgotten.
Yeah, with Batty and Lasso.
Yes, in Moscow.
Brawling in Moscow.
And Cardiff have made it 1-1 against West Brom. Sorry, Kaba has scored for Cardiff. So that is 1-1. Foul on Nacho, who I think sort of ran into Diogo Jota's outstretched leg. Or am I doing him a disservice? Did he get his foot stood on? Or is he in the running for the simulation game on Sunday night?
Yeah, I don't think he is, John. Naughty Nacho.
Naughty Nacho. Real Madrid with Valverde, and then Militao, and Valverde's pass to the right, and then that's a free kick.
Van Dijk, yeah, a foul. Quickly taken.
Taking it quickly all the way across field to the left-hand side. They want Vinicius to run at the Liverpool defence. That's what he's doing, but he gets past Alexander-Arnold. But Cody Gakpo stepped in. Then a long ball downfield, but that's beyond Jota, and will run all the way through to Courtois.
Yeah, it's Alexander-Arnold actually who made the pass. Wonderful spot, and Jota, I've got to say, is looking slightly leggy now. Jota ran from inside his own half, and Courtois, good starting position. There's that high line.
Yes, and Vinicius is away from Konate, and he plays it across, but Van Dijk is able to come across, but he's passed it back to Vinicius, who is, in fact, the offside flag is up on the far side, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Well, I just wonder whether it was for the initial run from Vinicius towards a close one. He is just offside, so you have to say the Liverpool high line worked, but dangerous game to play.
Dangerous game. 0-0, so it's still 5-2 to Real Madrid. So Real Madrid will be joining that lineup. So will Napoli. They're winning 1-0 tonight, so 3-0 on aggregate. So it looks as though we will have, as expected, 3 Italian teams in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. The 2 Milan clubs in Napoli. Here's Kroos winning it back, but then Kroos doesn't find the pass, and that's a little off. Again, but then careless again from Liverpool, Robertson, and then it's played through the middle for Valverde. This could finish it, but it's saved by the legs of Alisson. Another super save from him, coming out, timing his run, but then Benzema with a shot, but that's straight at Alisson, who was able to scoop it up in front of his shins.
Yeah, it's a really poor pass from Robertson. Here's a chance at the other end.
Salah is able to take on Militao, and Salah couldn't find the pass across to Nunez, who would have been in, but Salah just couldn't get the right pace on that, and Real Madrid are winning a free kick. Militao's tugged over.
I think the Liverpool players want a handball there for Militao. It was just outside his own box, but ball did hit him on the arm. But that pass from Salah just didn't have the pace for Nunez. Liverpool cannot keep wasting these opportunities. Having said that, Alisson kept them in it once again, John.
Yeah, another very good save from Alisson, who's made a few. Good save as well. You know, we talked about it, but early on in the match from Vinicius, the save from point-blank range, we saw replay after replay at half-time. Saved it with his arm. It was an excellent stop, as was the save from Camavinga onto the crossbar. Huddersfield have equalised. It's 1-1 against Norwich City. It's an own goal, a Grant Hanley own goal, as Real Madrid pass it all the way back to Courtois. So 2 Premier League matches being played tonight, 7:30 kickoffs. Brighton Crystal Palace, Chris Wise.
Final few minutes and Brighton's lead, still that slender 1-0. Solly March with it in the first half. Alexis McAllister had a chance a moment ago to make it 2-0. Is there any fight left in Crystal Palace? They need it. Brighton 1, Palace 0.
And what about Brighton? What about Southampton, Brentford? Nick Godwin.
Brentford still leading by a 0-0. We're about to enter the last 5 minutes or so. Southampton have tried hard in the second half. Theo Walcott's come on and tried to inject some magic. They've earned 3 corners, but not created anything since that Ward-Prowse free kick that went wide. It's still Southampton 0, Brentford 1.
And Napoli have doubled their lead on the night. Osimhen scored his second goal of the night, so they're knocking out Eintracht Frankfurt, who remember, won the Europa League last season so memorably in Seville, where Alistair Bruce-Ball and Rob Green are gathering for Real Betis, Manchester United. You'll hear that tomorrow. Big day of live sport tomorrow. Cheltenham Festival again on Sports Extra tomorrow afternoon. Real Betis against Manchester United, then Arsenal against Sporting in the evening. Long pass forward, 0-0 still here. Vinicius gets the ball down. Vinicius then pulls it across. Benzema with a chance, that's blocked. Vinicius again, but then Van Dijk was able to get a touch on that, and the referee spotted an infringement, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, one long ball, and it's a good long ball. Van Dijk, actually all he can do is just head the ball up in the air. Vinicius is onto it, and that partnership, that understanding with Benzema. I've got to say, Alexander-Arnold, as the ball is fed into Benzema, Alexander-Arnold gets back and blocks the shot, because Benzema normally gobbles up chances like that 12 yards out. So keeper to beat. Good block from Alexander-Arnold.
It was. It's just a bit scrappy, isn't it, at the moment? Real Madrid 0, Liverpool 0, and a very pleasant evening here just to the north of the city centre in the Spanish capital, the second highest capital in Europe, famously. And Liverpool going to make a change now. Jurgen Klopp making a move. Firmino and Elliott coming on for, as you suggested, Chris, Jota and Nunez. So Nunez, who had a big chance actually very early in the match, it's the first chance, could have given Liverpool a real boost if he'd been able to score it, hit it well enough, but too close to the goalkeeper. He's off, Nunez off, and Jota are off. So a double change, Chris.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they shape up now. Elliott, I suspect, will go into the midfield three. Just seeing where Firmino will play centrally. Hasn't really worked out just yet, as Liverpool have got a corner.
Crossfield pass by Alexander-Arnold, and Carvajal, who was actually misjudged it and dived to head it just above the surface of the pitch. He was worried that it was going to find its way to Robertson, and he gave it, with that header, has given away a cheap corner. So Liverpool looking to take advantage from the set piece. Still 0-0 on the night. Taking it short to Milner. Milner curls it in, headed away by Militao, and it comes out on the edge of the D for Vinicius to head it away from Harvey Elliott. Ball in field, Alexander-Arnold, not convincing, but he's been able to get away with it. And then the forward pass is cut out by Nacho. Vinicius is off and running again, cuts it in field. Elliott makes the challenge. Vinicius goes down, no free kick. The home fans with all of their half and half scarves, so many of them down in front of us in the top tier here, wanted a free kick for that. Referee Zvaya was having none of it. Fabinho now to the right hand side to Salah. Salah back to Fabinho. Fabinho trying now to find the pass to Salah, but I think he's overhit that. He has, and Courtois just comes across and lets it trundle away, bounce away past him and behind for a goal kick. 0-0 on the night.
Too many times that's happened tonight, hasn't it, for Liverpool? Too many misplaced passes. That's where they've really lacked that quality with their passing in the midfield. Not creative enough. Gakpo is, with the substitutions, Gakpo, versatile as he is, will go out to that left-hand side. Firmino as the central striker. Salah just hang on that right-hand side.
So Roberto Firmino, the number 9, leaving Liverpool now. We know that at the end of the season, 31 years old. He scored some big goals in his time. He's on the field as Liverpool play it forward, but Courtois can easily come and gather that. Again, just overhit, Salah chasing, but in vain. Salah, who's scored in Liverpool's last 6 Champions League matches. Second top scorer in the Champions League this season now, after Haaland's exploits last night. Haaland 10 goals in this competition, Salah 8, Mbappe 7. I was told today that and this is a rare accolade. So the referees just stopped play here. Now what's happened here?
Salah and Rudiger.
I was going to tell you, Chris, apparently L'Equipe, the French sporting newspaper, who are notoriously stingy in their marks for players, gave Haaland a 10. So that was their official mark in L'Equipe for Haaland for his performance last night. and I'm told he's only the 16th player in the entire history of L'Équipe marking players for their performances to get a 10.
Could debate that, you know. What does it? I mean, 5 goals, does that warrant a 10?
Well, L'Équipe felt they did.
I was told today, actually, interesting debate this, that the only time anybody, or you have to work off the back of Sir Geoff Hurst and the hat-trick in the World Cup final, that could be the only 10, John. Okay. That level.
Until this year's World Cup final, perhaps. As Alexander-Arnold plays it through the middle to Firmino. And then Salah gets it back from Firmino. Salah clips it in, but that's beyond Gakpo. And I have to say, sitting here in the stadium watching this performance, listen, these teams, Liverpool, the quality of players that they've got there, you know, they could score 2 goals in 3 minutes. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen, Chris.
It doesn't feel like the Liverpool players actually believe that it will happen. Of course, they've got some outstanding players, but I've actually been disappointed with the Liverpool performance as such. You know, they've hung on in there. I think they could have played with greater intensity. Haven't really gambled just yet, Liverpool. I think Madrid are still controlling this.
Liverpool are coming forward, but Carvajal is in position to play it away. And then Modric, finds space brilliantly, and then finds Valverde on the right, who was looking to whip it in low. That was the right idea, but it was blocked. He didn't get it quite right, and it was blocked away by Van Dijk for a throw down the right-hand side. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, live from Madrid, 0-0 still, and it is a throw-in for Real Madrid down the right-hand side. Almost up level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. It's thrown back towards the halfway line though, where Eder Militao uses Kroos. And we're going back to Sunderland in the Championship, and Mike Maine.
And a night for the Manchester City loanees. McAtee equalises in the first half for Sheffield United. Now Tommy Doyle puts them 2-1 up. A free kick 25 yards out on the far left. Didn't get much height on it. It goes through a whole load of players. No one got a touch. And into the bottom right-hand corner. Sheffield United lead this one by 2-1.
Other latest in the Championship: Luton Town 1, Bristol City 0 still, Hull City 0, Burnley 2, Huddersfield 1, Norwich 1, Cardiff 1, West Brom 1, Blackburn 1, Reading 1. Back to the Premier League and Brighton and Chris Wise.
Brighton still leading 1-0. We're in 9 minutes of stoppage time, 5 of it played, and Palace have just had a big chance. Hamada dragging a shot wide after Brighton gave it away. Brighton 1, Palace 0.
Chance for Real Madrid. Modric with some great stuff on the left-hand side, chipping it across, and Valverde on the stretch on the edge of the 6-yard box with a header that was just over the top.
Oh, it was magical from Modric. Over on this left-hand touchline, just flicked the ball up, flicked it over Alexander-Arnold's head, made him look foolish, and then has that awareness, fed a beautiful left-footed cross to Valverde, who just couldn't direct the header down on target from 6 yards, a little bit too high, but how good was that from the little magician?
Still 0-0, Liverpool coming forward. Going to go back to Southampton again in a moment, but Liverpool with the ball just outside the penalty area. Here's Harvey Elliott, but Fabinho was dispossessed, and then it's given away by Benzema.
He's been poor, Fabinho, tonight. He really has been. Looked a yard off it. His passing's been bang average.
Milner finds Alexander-Arnold. Elliott, here's the cross from Alexander-Arnold, curls it, but high and over everyone. It's just kept in actually by the left back, Robertson. In fact, it wasn't. It was out of play. So let's get the details on that second goal. Sani Rajavajala is watching the pictures from Italy.
Well, just so you come to me, Napoli have scored a third. It was Victor Osimhen with his second of the evening to make it 2-0, and now Piotr Zielinski has scored from the penalty spot. Napoli well and truly into the last 16. It's Napoli 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 0. They lead 5-0 overall in aggregate.
And Blackburn now 2-1 up, so restoring their lead. Ryan Hedges with the second goal. Blackburn 2, Reading 1. And Liverpool with Robertson on the left-hand side. Robertson puts his foot on it, plays it into Salah to Alexander-Arnold on the edge of the box, who is challenged by Militao and forced to carry the ball away and actually runs it out of play for a throw into Real Madrid. Halfway inside the area.
Got to say, those two centre-halves from Madrid, Militao and Rudiger, really very similar in their attributes. Super aggressive, strong, quick. Really top defenders, both of them. Too strong there, Militao for Alexander-Arnold.
7:30 matches in the Premier League. Close to the final whistle, so back to Southampton and Nick Godwin.
Yes, we've got about 90 seconds of stoppage time to go. It's still Southampton 0, Brentford 1. Southampton have just had a brilliant chance to equalise. Kamaldeen Suleimani's air shot from 12 yards with the rain stinging his eyes. It sums up Southampton's evening. Brentford have played this beautifully. Not long left. Southampton 0, Brentford 1.
Real Madrid with the ball just outside the edge of their own penalty area. Modric, who is onto it. He's enjoying the feel of the ball at his feet, Luka Modric. And Real Madrid go back to Militao on the edge of the box, who pass it all the way back to Courtois again.
Yeah, Liverpool more aggressive with their press now. They know that they've got to really gamble, and Modric coming deeper. He won't panic, and the danger is now that Liverpool, they are going to be more aggressive, that Madrid can really pick them off.
More coming on Burnley again in a moment, but Real Madrid with Kroos uses Benzema. Lovely quick touch from him to Vinicius on the left-hand side. Now Kroos as well. Muddy smudge on the back of his shirt next to the number 8. Then over to the right-hand side to Modric. Modric through the middle to Camavinga, who steps away from Fabinho, and then square pass from him. Vinicius on the left-hand side. A late goal at Southampton, Nick Godwin.
2-0 to Brentford. Johan Wieser played through the middle in the 7th minute of stoppage time. He was so cool as he slotted it in the corner. Brentford are going to win. Southampton are going to stay bottom. Southampton 0, Brentford 2.
And are Burnley on the way to another victory? Ellen Allard.
They absolutely are. Hull 0, Burnley 3. Nathan Tella gets his hat-trick, picked the pocket of the whole defence, went one-on-one with the keeper, and as easy as you like for the Southampton loanee, who is absolutely on fire. Hull 0, Burnley 3.
And in the WSL, big win for Tottenham. They've beaten Leicester by 1-0. And Reading are down to 10 men now at Blackburn, so 2-1 down to 10 men, with Mamadou Loum sent off for violent conduct. So Reading down to 10 men. We've got, Chris, quarter of the match to go here, and it's rather fizzling out, I would say.
It is. Look, Liverpool still have to believe, but they just look a bit flat, like that belief isn't there. And Madrid really getting a grip of this game now.
Modric playing it to Nacho, and here's Vinicius, who's running at Alexander-Arnold again, cuts inside, then gives the ball to Benzema, who shoots over the top of the crossbar. I thought that was destined for the back of the net from the Real Madrid captain, but he missed the target.
No, their understanding is phenomenal. It's brilliant from Vinicius Junior. He has been all evening, driving inside on his right foot. Alexander-Arnold can't handle him. Fabinho doesn't get out quickly enough to him, and he gets his head up. And they're telepathic, aren't they? That understanding. Feeds a ball to Benzema, who takes the ball brilliantly. First touch, lets it run across his body a little bit, and then from 12 yards, probably level with Alisson's left-hand post, balloons the ball over the bar. You'd expect him to bury that.
Here's Salah away down the right-hand side. Still 0-0 here in Madrid. Salah into the box, turns back, gives it to Gakpo. Gakpo tries to cross, hits the first defender, Nacho. Out of play, throwing to Liverpool on the right. They take it quickly. Urgency now for Liverpool, just over 20 minutes to play. Gakpo, hasn't happened for them. Into the area to Elliott. His cross is blocked away out of the box. Milner chests it across. And then bounces for Konate, who just delayed there. And Fabinho might well have fouled Valverde. He did. It's a free kick for Real Madrid. And have Brighton won it, Chris Wise?
They have. They've won it 1-0. So a derby that's followed the form. The Seagulls maintaining these wild dreams of a top 4 finish. Solly March had the only goal in the first half. For Crystal Palace, 11 without a win, 4 games without a goal. I wonder if Chris Sutton's worried-ometer is wobbling a little.
Not worried. Not worried, John.
Not worried.
They've got Arsenal. They'll lose to Arsenal at the weekend, and then they'll start bucking their ideas up, John.
The worriedometer flatlining despite the defeat. So Brighton have won, and I presume Brentford have won at Southampton, Nick Godwin.
They certainly have by 2-0. Ivan Toney and Johan Wissa with the goals. Southampton created so little. Che Adams' shot at the start of the second half, cleared off the line by Aaron Hickey, the closest they came. Southampton's little recovery has stalled, while Brentford go 8th. Full-time Southampton 0, Brentford 2.
All the reaction will be on the Football Daily podcast. If you don't hear it live, with us on 5 Live tonight before 10:30. So the Football Daily in the morning, subscribe for free from BBC Sounds. That's where you get your Fantasy 606 podcast as well, I believe.
Great podcast. Just you haven't asked me about my worriedometer for Southampton. That's very worried.
Is it peaking?
It is.
Is it in the red?
Yes, that could burst.
Good.
We need Liverpool to burst this evening.
We do.
It's all just a bit flat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There's players out there.
They're going out with a
whimper. They are. I actually don't think Madrid would have believed that it would be so comfortable for them this evening.
Here's Vinicius on the left-hand side. He's a real live wire into the area, blocked by Alexander-Arnold. Still Vinicius. Ball always seems to bounce back to him. He's got magnetic boots. Vinicius again gets past Alexander-Arnold, then in comes a challenge on him from Roberto Firmino to finally manage to wrestle the ball away from this brilliant young man, Vinicius Jr., 22 years old. Here's Salah though on the other side, attacking down the right wing and winning a throw-in for Liverpool halfway inside the Real Madrid half, into the last 15 minutes.
He's the one they're really watching closely, Mo Salah, at Madrid back line, and Nacho super aggressive there with Rudiger. Salah wasn't going to win that battle.
Sorry, into the last 20 minutes. Here is Salah down the right. The challenge on him from Nacho. Out of play, another throw to Liverpool down the right.
Come on, it's now or never, John, isn't it?
That scenario we discussed, if it was 0-0 with 15 minutes to go and Liverpool got a goal, whether that would put the wind up the 14 times winners and holders of the Champions League. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to come on for, well, a rare appearance. He's actually not featured, not played in the last 7 matches, and Oxlade-Chamberlain is coming on, and that's it for James Milner, 37 years old, having captained the team tonight. He trots off the field, gets a slap from Jurgen Klopp in a nice way, slap of the hands, I mean, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool, level with the edge of penalty area, back to Elliott, now Konate forward to Fabinho. And,
is he the one?
The
is the Ox the one, John? Somebody needs to take the bull by the horns.
Well, that would be a tale of the unexpected, wouldn't it? On the night we were believing it was probably mission impossible for Liverpool here tonight. Well, not even Tom Cruise perhaps could get them out of this one, but we'll see. Elliott attacking and then clattering into Militao, and that's going to be a free kick. Just followed through and caught Militao, and a free kick halfway inside their own half for Real Madrid. Back to Sunderland in the Championship again. Sheffield United still in front, Mike Maine.
Yeah, but only just. Patrick Roberts has hit the post, left-hand side of the box. Now big appeals for a penalty. Sunderland really stepping it up. It's those goals from McAtee and Doyle that gives Sheffield United a 2-1 lead. Sunderland have thrown on a trio of subs as well. That includes Lyndon Gooch, who's looking to become the first Sunderland player to score home and away against Sheffield United since 2004. Kevin Kyle, that man, but it's Patrick Roberts who's come closest with that shot hitting the post. Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 2.
Liverpool on the move. Salah trying to play it through the middle for Elliott, but Nacho did well, actually, just came across and made sure that the ball wouldn't bounce for Elliott, and Real Madrid are playing it out from the back. In fact, it's been given away by Nacho and Alexander-Arnold with a cross. Stretch, Gakpo's able to pull it down, but it runs away out into the right back area, and Militao and Carvajal together are able to keep it for Real Madrid, although Militao is rather slid in on Gakpo. The ball bounced away from him Militao, and in the way that you see it, Militao then stretching to try and get it back, clattered into Gakpo, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
That's a yellow card offence, isn't it? Militao waving his arms at the referee, saying it's not. Well, it is, and he's been very lenient, the referee, John. You said he was card happy.
Yeah. Free kick then for Liverpool out towards the left-hand side. There are 15 minutes to play and it's still 0-0, and Robertson plays it in. Courtois dropped it, but he's been able to fall on it, even though Firmino is there. The big man, the big Belgian, was able to grasp it and hold it at the second attempt.
Yeah, it was a poor free kick from Robertson, too close, a left-footed outswinger, too close to Courtois, who came to gather it, made a bit of a pickle of his first attempt to catch it.
Here's Vinicius Junior again, away down the left-hand side. He's away from Alexander-Arnold. He plays it in field. Benzema, it then deflects to a rather sliced shot from Carvajal from just outside the box. Now he's out of position and he slipped over as Liverpool took a quick goal kick. Alisson was sharp there with Carvajal down the field, but white shirts now getting back into position as Liverpool approach the penalty area. Still 0-0. Liverpool needing to score 3 goals without reply just to take it to extra time. Salah then into Gakpo, then back to Elliott. Elliott now to Robertson. Robertson on the left pulls it across low, but defenders slid in to put it behind and block it behind for a Liverpool corner.
I just wondered, I think Elliott could and should have got a shot off there. They work it brilliantly. All played into Salah, who waits a perfectly weighted pass into Firmino, who feeds the ball back to Elliott. Elliott, 12-14 yards out, tried to pop the ball out to the left-hand side.
Latest Liverpool corner from Robertson, the outswinger, is headed away by Valverde, played back over the top by Alexander-Arnold, but Courtois wasn't anything
passing there, Harvey Elliott. Put your foot through it.
So still goalless.
Jurgen Klopp's not happy about that. I think he's telling Harvey Elliott what he thought of that effort to decline on the shot. Blimey, I mean, you're not going to shoot from there.
So Real Madrid, 12 minutes plus added time from getting through to the quarterfinals yet again. They've not lost in their last 7 matches against Liverpool. They've certainly got the edge over them, haven't they? And Ancelotti's got the edge over Jurgen Klopp. He's not lost in his last 7 matches against Jurgen Klopp either. 0-0 here tonight. Liverpool could yet win it on the night, but to score 3 goals now without reply just to get it to extra time, it's asking a great deal. Although I remember sitting in this stadium for the semi-final, the second leg of the semi-final last season, as Paul's played through to Benzema, and then Vinicius misses his shot, but it bounces across to Benzema, and Benzema is able to plant it into the net, and Real Madrid have scored the opening goal of the night, but also the clincher. That's the goal from Benzema that will see them through, the holders, into the quarterfinals, and will surely knock Liverpool out. Real Madrid 1, Liverpool 0, and that is now 6-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, and Karim ruins the Liverpool dream. That goal has decided it. Game, set, match to Madrid. We talked about this being a tall order for Liverpool. In fact, don't defend it well. Van Dijk initially, as the ball's played to Benzema from Camavinga in a central area. Benzema lets the ball run across his body. Van Dijk gets in a challenge. Vinicius, all he does is pop the ball up to Vinicius Junior, who should actually score, scuffs his effort, but then pokes the ball to Benzema, who's got an open goal and is the master finisher. He's not going to give that chance up. An easy finish, one of the easiest finishes of his career, but what a partnership that duo are. You've got to say, in fairness, Madrid have been the dominant team, the better team. They've had control of this game, and Liverpool are going out. We sort of knew that was probably going to be the case before the game, but that's decided it, John.
Yep. And Benzema again, after his exploits last season, as Real Madrid found a way through against Chelsea here and against Manchester City, and then of course winning the Champions League final against these opponents, against Liverpool. Benzema 15 goals in the Champions League last season. It's only his third this season, but it's another one against Liverpool. He's now scored 7 goals against Liverpool in Europe, and that is more than any other player. 7 goals for Benzema against Liverpool in Europe, his 89th in the Champions League. And even now at the age of 35, still going strong. He won't get too many easier finishes than that. As you said, Chris, Vinicius with a chance, but he slipped, didn't he? I think the slip when the goal was opening up for Vinicius, but it bounced to Benzema, who was able to finish it off. 10 minutes to go, 1-0 on the night to Real Madrid, and Liverpool now on their way out.
I mean, as the ball actually bounced for Vinicius, it wasn't an easy chance initially. He's trying to hit it on the half volley. Makes a bit of a mess of it, but then he still has the sharpness of the mind to just pop the ball out to his teammate who has the easiest of finishes, and that is the goal which is going to decide this tie.
Yeah, and if ever there was a sign of that, it is the fact that Carlo Ancelotti is now making changes, and Modric and Benzema are the two to go off, so that speaks for itself. Real Madrid's next match is against Barcelona on Sunday, the leaders by 9 points. So off they come, these two. You wouldn't want them injuring themselves in these final moments. Modric is cheered off for the umpteenth time at the Bernabeu, and Benzema as well, just a few moments after scoring what is, remember, his third goal of the tie as well, after the 2 at Anfield. So off he comes, and Real Madrid bring on the substitutes. Rodrigo is coming on, so Rodrigo taking up a position on the left-hand side, and throwing for Real Madrid down inside their own half. The ball's played back to Militao, who controls and rather slices it away, but the game's up now, and the games are over in the Championship. Blackburn have beaten Reading by 2-1. It's finished Luton Town 1, Bristol City 0, and Cardiff 1, West Brom 1. Liverpool with Oxlade-Chamberlain now to Salah, and now the songs have begun for Real Madrid. Elliott's going to have a goal, left-footed from an angle, maybe 22 yards out, but Courtois was able to pat it down and gather it.
Yeah, decided not to shoot 5 or 10 minutes earlier when he should have done. This was more of a difficult opportunity, 25 yards out, right-hand side of the box, trying to find that far corner, straight at Courtois. It's all going to be too little too late. I think Liverpool, middle of the park, that's been their problem. It was always going to be tricky with Henderson out, Brzetic out as well. You mentioned Thiago. He's had an injury for a while now, but that's where Liverpool have struggled.
And more changes now, not surprisingly. Vinicius, the live wire himself, is coming off. He's going to be replaced by Marco Asensio, and also coming on for Real Madrid, Tchouaméni coming on into the midfield. So Toni Kroos gets a rest as well, and this is again now 4 of his mainstays have been withdrawn with that Barcelona game coming up at the weekend on Sunday.
Yeah, but this has been a Madrid team where the bench has been really prominent for Carlo Ancelotti this season. I think in the previous 18 games the bench has been responsible, I think, for something like 12 goals. Strength and depth, this Madrid team, this Madrid squad.
Real Madrid leading Liverpool by 1-0. Benzema opening the scoring in the 79th minute, if you've just joined us on 5 Live tonight. And it is full-time now. Burnley's latest victory has been watched by Ellen Allard.
Yeah, Hull 1, Burnley 3. Ozan Tufan with a late consolation for the hosts, but 17 unbeaten for Burnley and gliding towards automatic promotion in such a dominant fashion. A hat-trick from Nathan Teller, who's well and truly covered the injury absences from the league leaders with 5 goals this week. Liam Rossini's early second half subs gave them a bit more bite in the second half, forcing 2 good saves from Muric. But in the end, now with a huge 83 points that they've amassed this season, it is clear that this Burnley side are just operating on a completely different level. Hull 1, Burnley 3.
Liverpool attacking, but 1-0 down. But it could open up for Elliott on the edge of the box after Alexander-Arnold now on the right-hand side looking to cross, but in slides Rudiger to block it behind for another Liverpool corner.
It's a wonderful feat from Oxlade-Chamberlain on the edge of the box, and as the ball comes out right to Alexander-Arnold, Rudiger once again near post position gets across with a ferocious challenge.
Alexander-Arnold then with the outswinger. I think that might have gone out of play. In fact, it's ballooned right to the far side of the penalty area, and yes, the assistant flagged that it did go out. It's finished Huddersfield 1, Norwich 1. Norwich led in that match, but Huddersfield still not won since Neil Warnock's first match in charge. And now a 5th substitution is being made by Carlo Ancelotti, and he's going to bring on Lucas Vasquez to play at right back. So it is Carvajal, the experienced Carvajal, who is being helped into a coat down there, and off he goes underneath the roof of the dugout to take his seat. So Lucas Vasquez comes on as the right back. So Ancelotti's made all 5 of his changes now. 4 minutes to play. Liverpool need to score 4 goals without reply just to take this to extra time, and that, I'm afraid, listeners, if you're a Liverpool fan, is not going to happen.
Yeah, I can't make a case for them, John.
No,
Even
super optimistic you. Ball bounces off Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's struggling to keep it in on the far side. In fact, he did. He was able to knock it into his opponent, and it's a throw-in for Liverpool.
Mark Chapman quite right with his negativity, John.
Was, yeah.
Proven right again. Negative. Yeah. Mark Chapman.
Out from the back, Van Dijk's got the captain's armband on now. And then Gakpo. And then in comes Militao with the challenge, and it bounces out of play.
Would you agree with me, John? So Rudiger and Militao, sort of old school, rugged defenders. Want to defend first and foremost. They're both decent enough on the ball.
Long pass forward for Liverpool. Konate's underneath that and heads it away towards the centre circle. I know everyone's raving about Napoli at the moment, and they've got a massive lead at the top of the Italian league, but if Napoli run into Real Madrid in the Champions League...
hard to call, isn't it?
Asensio crossing the ball from the left-hand side, but it rolls into the path of Robertson. And
with Manchester City, John, last night, and that just a bit of a statement there, wasn't it? Haaland, the 5 goals, magnificent 7. Just saying to Europe, this may be our season.
Yeah, well, I'll be in Napoli next week with England. I'll ask some of the locals if they fancy their chances against Real Madrid. Of course, we'll know the draw by then. The European draws will be on 5 Live on Friday morning, Friday lunchtime, so we'll have news of that.
Can you speak Italian?
Not very much, Chris.
Right.
No, I can't.
It'll be a broken English ask, will it?
Yes, it might be, yes. Might be sign language. Real Madrid, thumb up or thumb down? Throw-in taken by Liverpool on the halfway line. So it's going to be another cup exit here for Liverpool, not able to defend either of the 2 that they won last season, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, finalists in Saint-Denis at the end of last season, losing out to Real Madrid. And it will, as Chris says, did win the Community Shield at the start of the season, Liverpool, for another different trophy for Jurgen Klopp, but not to be tonight after everything that happened in the first leg at Anfield. It really was too much. And Harvey Elliott with a foul on Nacho, and it's a free kick to Real Madrid, 10 yards inside Liverpool territory. We're in the 90th minute now, and to think Liverpool, you know, the atmosphere, honestly, Chris, in Anfield, when they were 2-0 up inside the first 15 minutes, scored that second goal, 2-0, looked as though it was going to be another rousing Liverpool performance, but my, how that changed. Alexander-Arnold passing the ball forward. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's going on a run into the centre circle and then plays it to Robertson on the left-hand side. Liverpool do have a little bit of a rest after this. Their next match is the weekend after next against Manchester City. That's Liverpool's next game, away against Manchester City on the 1st of April. Next 3 matches for Liverpool: Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal, and then actually Leeds away after that.
Yes.
Liverpool going to make a couple of changes as well, Chris.
They are, but they're going to have to pick themselves up and dust themselves down. Big end to the season, that race for the top 4. It's not the end that Liverpool fans would have wanted. Certainly wouldn't have expected it this season. Would have expected far more from the team.
Well, Kostas Tsimikas and Fabio Carvalho are going to get a taste of playing in the Bernabeu, the famous Estadio Santiago Bernabeu. And Tsimikas...
Hardly worth it, is it now? I mean...
Tsimikas and Carvalho running onto the field. And who's coming off, I presume? Robertson is coming off, yes he is.
Is it Gakpo, I think?
Gakpo as well, they've both left the field on the far side. So those 2 changes. We're in added time now at the end of the 90 minutes. Just 2 minutes of time added on. I think that's a fair call, isn't it? You know, there's no coming back from this. Camavinga cuts in field.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he,
yeah,
Camavinga?
Excellent. And then a low pass out towards the right-hand side. It's cut back. The shot is blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Rodrigo's effort. He's saying that was a handball on the edge of the 6-yard area. I think it was Tsimikas who's only just come on. And the ball bounces out of play. Obviously, VAR will have a look at this. Referee Zvaya says, hang on, we're going to have a look. It bounced back across to Rodrigo, who hit the shot that hit Tsimikas.
That would be a ridiculous penalty to award. It comes off Tsimikas' left thigh and his arm is down by his side. It does hit his left arm, but they can't give that, John, surely.
No, but well, you wouldn't have thought so. But let's see, play has not resumed yet. Referee's still waiting. Still waiting. Still the discussion goes on, so they're having a very good long look at this. And Alexander-Arnold's waiting to take the throw in well into added time. We've actually played over the 2 minutes now. I mean, this is academic, really.
I mean, the longer it goes,
I mean, the referee's
seen awarded, but come on, that's not a penalty.
And still we wait.
Can't give that.
and the referee is now beginning to move, walking towards the halfway line. Looking at Alexander-Arnold. He's now having a chat actually with one of the Real Madrid players. They're still looking at it. I mean, Jurgen Klopp and Ancelotti are looking at one another. I think Ancelotti might have raised an eyebrow at Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp walks across. He's now having a chat with the 4th official, who is German. So, and there's the rectangle, and the referee's going to come and have a look. And we know what that means. So I think the feeling will be that because it was on target, having struck an arm, that's why they'll give it, because they will now. They will give this now.
That's ridiculous if they award a penalty.
It bounced off his knee. It bounced off his own knee onto his left arm. It bounced off his right knee up onto his left arm, which,
I mean, it's certainly not a deliberate handball unless it's genius from Tsimikas. It's ridiculous.
So it's it's a throw in. It's a throw in.
Well done, the referee.
Well. Late drama.
Common sense
wins the day, and the referee says take the throw in, Liverpool, and then Tsimikas has committed a foul, and then we've got the first yellow card of the night as well for Tsimikas.
He's had an eventful couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Tsimikas.
So he's yellow carded, and well, that's a collector's item, isn't it? The referee being called across to have a look, and deciding that yes, I got it right. I've seen it again. I'm not giving that as a penalty, and that is it. There is the whistle, and it's handshakes all around. Jurgen Klopp comes across, beaten by Carlo Ancelotti again. 1-0 on the night, 6-2 on aggregate. And that means that for the third season in a row, Liverpool's Champions League has ended at the hands of Real Madrid. Jurgen Klopp looks up towards the almost 2,000 Liverpool fans, gives them a wave, but Real Madrid glide through serenely the holders into the quarterfinals. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, look, I think it's all feels a little bit flat from Liverpool's point of view. They came here with an enormous task to turn around a 3-goal deficit, and in truth, once Nunez missed that early opportunity, and you could say a decent enough save from Courtois, but they had to be ruthless in that moment. I thought Madrid pretty much controlled the game, and Benzema, Ballon d'Or Benzema, what a player he has been over the years. He's been the masterful finisher, but with an open goal. Vinicius was a threat all evening on that left-hand side for Madrid, but be interesting now where Liverpool go from here over the summer, who they're going to bring in and recruit. I think Liverpool are really light in the midfield area, and that showed again this evening up against the Madrid midfield of Modric, Kroos and Camavinga, who was absolutely superb. But Liverpool have to dust themselves down, not feel too sorry for themselves, because they need to fight for that top 4 spot. With likes of Tottenham Hotspur this season, and the way they're playing, the inconsistency they've shown this season, they've got a lot of work to do to cement that top 4 spot.
And as for Real Madrid, well, who would bet against the holders? Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid in the Champions League again this season. The holders are through. Karim Benzema scoring the only goal, 3 in the tie against Liverpool. 1-0 here in Madrid, 6-2 on aggregate.
Plenty to discuss and reaction to come in the next half hour of 5 Live Sport, but this is not the most important thing. But what a load of nonsense that was at the end.
Do you know it, Joe?
It was good though. The outcome was good because I mean, as John pointed out, as soon as the referee was on the way to the monitor, we're all thinking, "Oh, here we go," another pathetic award of a penalty. But the referee showed a bit of gumption there and made the right call. So that sort of warmed my heart a little bit, Mark.
Real Madrid are through then. They've beaten Liverpool 6-2 on aggregate, and Napoli are also through.